Medicine Dr. Jianghu, The Legend of the Flirting Master. Chapter 1, An Extraordinary Teenager. Hidden under the distant Cloud Cliff Mountains, there is a small village called Purple Smoke Village. The people here have lived by breeding spirit animals and herbal medicine for generations, far away from the distractions of the world, but there is a hidden genius that no one knows. He is our protagonist, Long Shuntian, a young man born in an ordinary peasant family, but with extraordinary talent. Long Shuntian has had an unusual talent since he was a child. Not only can he cure all kinds of diseases, but also master advanced martial arts, and even understand the subtle laws between heaven and earth, fortune-telling, and predict good fortune and evil. His spirit beast breeding skills are even more famous, and many families and forces hope to establish cooperative relations with him. However, this gifted teenager is not satisfied with this. He has a greater ambition in his heart, and he is eager to break into an extraordinary world. He is not overly enthusiastic about traditional medical inheritance or martial arts practice, but focuses on challenging more difficult life dilemmas, such as flirting with girls. Chapter 2, The Encounter of the Little Sister of the Neighbor Family. One day, Long Shuntian was sitting in the small tea house at the entrance of the village drinking tea, and suddenly a graceful woman walked in, her clothes fluttering, her eyes as clear as autumn water. It was the female doctor in the village, Shen Ruoxuan. She has not only excellent medical skills, but also a gentle smile that can heal people's hearts. Long Shuntian's gaze was involuntarily attracted to her, and there was a slight fluctuation in his heart. Shen Ruoxuan had never shown special emotions to any man, but Long Shuntian's charm and wit invisibly broke her invisible line of defense. "Miss Shen, you seem to be a little worried, what's wrong?" Long Shuntian asked with a smile. Shen Ruoxuan raised her eyes and glanced at him, and responded lightly, "I have been treating a patient during this time, and his condition is quite complicated, and the herbal formula I decocted has never been able to cure his disease." Long Shuntian smiled lightly and raised his hand. "Why don't you let me take a look, maybe I have a way to deal with this condition." Shen Ruoxuan was a little hesitant, but still told him about the patient's situation. Long Shuntian listened carefully, then took out his treasured medicinal materials, made a herbal formula, and personally cooked it and handed it to Shen Ruoxuan. She was amazed that this young man's medical skills were so brilliant that they were comparable to her ancestral medicine. "Are you?" Shen Ruoxuan looked at Long Shuntian. A trace of surprise and curiosity appeared in her eyes. Long Shuntian chuckled, "My name is Long Shuntian, a person from Xian village. Medical skills, martial arts, fortune-telling, and raising spirit beasts, he should be regarded as an all-round master." Shen Ruoxuan was stunned for a moment after hearing this. She never thought that this seemingly ordinary young man would have so many talents. She couldn't help but feel a little curious and interested in her heart, and then she said, "Thank you for your help, Ruo Shuntian, your medical skills are indeed good." Chapter 3, The Flirting of the Deep Beauty. Just as Long Shuntian and Shen Ruoxuan were chatting and laughing in the small tea house in the village, a luxurious carriage slowly drove into Xian village. After the carriage stopped, a woman with outstanding temperament stepped out of the car. She was the famous local beauty, Bai Hailan. She is a young widow who runs her own business, large and small, due to the unexpected death of her husband. Her beauty and wisdom made many men in the village admire. When Bai Hailan walked into the tea house, Long Shuntian couldn't help but be surprised. She was dressed in a plain dress, and her face was exquisite, and she seemed to have some kind of hidden noble temperament. There was a hint of indifference in her eyes, but when her gaze swept over Long Shuntian, the moment of gaze meeting was like a collision of two souls. After Bai Hailan sat down, she said to the proprietress next to her, "I heard that there is a young man named Long Shuntian here. His medical skills and spirit beast breeding skills are very powerful. I want to ask him for help." The proprietress smiled and pointed at Long Shuntian. "It's just right, he's here." Bai Hailan's eyes moved slightly, and then walked towards Long Shuntian. Her graceful steps, combined with her calm temperament, made the whole tea house seem to be dimmed. "Mr. Long Shuntian, I heard that your medical skills are superb. I wonder if you can help me solve a problem." Bai Hailan's tone was cold, but polite. Long Shuntian smiled slightly. "Of course, Madam Bai, please go ahead." Bai Hailan sighed lightly, with a bit of helplessness in her tone. "My family's spirit beasts have been sick for some reason, and several have died. If you are in good health, do you have a way to treat it?" After hearing this, Long Shuntian's heart moved, and he agreed to Bai Hailan's request. He then led her to her spirit animal enclosure, carefully observed the 6 spirit animals, and treated them with his own unique therapy. Looking at Long Shuntian's familiar work, the amazement in Bai's Highland's eyes became more and more obvious. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 4. The Invitation of the Beautiful President. Long Shunshan's fame quickly spread in Xian village and the surrounding area, and many people came to visit him, whether it was a patient seeking healing or a merchant who wanted to learn about his spirit beast breeding skills. And at this moment, a woman with an extraordinary temperament came to the village. Her name is Ning Xiao, and she is the president of a well-known company. Her company has been involved in many industries, whether it is capital operation or market layout, it is very discerning. However, her success in business did not bring her joy, on the contrary, she felt empty and always felt that something important was missing. After hearing about Long Shunshan's reputation, Ning Xiao decided to come and see this rumored wizard in person. When she saw Long Shuntian, she couldn't help but be moved. His indifferent attitude, as well as his extraordinary wisdom, made her respectful. So, Ning Xiao said, Long Shuntian, your reputation is far and wide, I don't know if you can accept my invitation and come to my company to cooperate. Long Shuntian smiled slightly, cooperation? President Ning, I'm not good at business operations, and I may not be able to do anything about it. Ning Xiao smiled lightly, I don't need you to go into the stock market, but I hope you can help me solve a problem about medical technology. Maybe we can work together in other areas. Long Shunshan's heart moved, this was a new challenge, and he had always been full of interest in the challenge. So, he agreed to Ning Xiao's invitation and began to discuss various business cooperation with her. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 5. The Troubles of the Flirting Master. With the passage of time, Long Shunshan's fame has become more and more famous, not only the favor of the little sister next door, Shen Ruoxuan, but also Bai's Highland's affection, and even the beautiful President Ning Xiao has a deep affection for him. However, all this made Long Shuntian confused. Who am I going to choose? He often fell into deep thought. He felt that he had obtained everything, medical skills, martial arts, spirit animal breeding, flirting skills, and even the title of national husband. But deep down, there is always an indescribable sense of emptiness. He began to rethink his life and what he really wanted to achieve. Is it to spend a lifetime with a loved one? Or continue to roam in this river full of temptations and challenges? And all of this will change with future choices. Chapter 6. The Choice of Love. As Long Shunshan's fame skyrocketed, his life became more and more complicated. Shen Ruoxuan, the little sister next door, Bai's Highland, the widow, and Ning Xiao, the beautiful president, are three women with very different personalities, all of whom show deep feelings for him. Everyone has her own unique charm, and Long Shuntian is also deeply attracted by their respective characteristics. Shen Ruoxuan, the kind of woman who is as gentle as water, has accompanied him since he was a child and witnessed him grow from an unknown teenager to a genius today. Her presence made Long Shuntian feel familiar and reassured, and her gentleness and carefulness always made him have a trace of concern in his heart that he couldn't let go. Bai's Highland is a woman who has experienced major changes in her life. Her calmness and independence are in stark contrast to Long Shunshan's heroic character, and her maturity and wisdom make Long Shuntian feel a certain spiritual touch in front of her. Whenever they were together, they could always unconsciously talk about those deep philosophies in life, which made him feel that his heart was truly in tune with her when he got along with her. Ning Xiao, as a strong woman in the business world, she has firm beliefs and strong courage, so she exudes a unique charm no matter where she is. Her calmness and wisdom made Long Shuntian can't help but admire her. And Ning Xiao's independence and strength made Long Shuntian feel that she was like a towering tree that would not fall in the wind and rain, and people couldn't help but want to rely on her. To Long Shuntian, the emotions of the three women are like three different worlds, each with its own indescribable attraction. Faced with such a beautiful emotional entanglement, Long Shuntian was at a loss. He was hesitant, even a little apprehensive, for he was not sure which woman would be able to spend the rest of his life with. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 7. The Reincarnation of Fate. As the relationship with the three women became deeper and deeper, Long Shunshan's heart also fell into a deeper struggle. Every time he made a choice, the look in the eyes of another woman always made him feel extremely guilty. He could feel the expectation in Shen Ruoxuan's eyes, see Bai's Highland's dependence on him, and Ning Xiao's cold but eager gaze like an iceberg. Everyone is waiting for him to make a final decision, but he himself seems to be standing at a crossroads, not knowing how to choose. One day, Long Shuntian came to the tea house again, and he had decided to give himself a time and space to think. Here, he met Shen Ruoxuan by chance. Ruoxuan, I have something I want to tell you. There was a hint of seriousness in Long Shunshan's tone. Shen Ruoxuan looked at him and smiled slightly, but she still guessed the struggle in his heart. Shuntian, you are still troubled by them after all, right? Long Shunshan's heart was shocked, and a trace of surprise flashed in his eyes. How do you know? Shen Ruoxuan said softly, I always knew that you couldn't let go of each of them in your heart. Over the years, you have not only helped me to heal and save people, but also taken care of countless people in need, while you yourself have never thought about yourself, and you have always been lost for the sake of others. A trace of remorse flashed in Long Shunshan's heart, and he felt that Shen Ruoxuan's eyes were full of wordless sadness, as if she had already seen through everything about him. He sighed deeply, Ruoxuan, I don't want to disappoint you. Shen Ruoxuan shook her head lightly, with a firmness in her gentle tone, Shuntian, no matter who you choose in the end, I hope you can be happy. Over the years, I have witnessed your growth, I have been through so much with you, and I will always be there for you to support you. Long Shunshan's heart was moved, he reached out and gently held Shen Ruoxuan's hand, his eyes were full of gratitude, Ruoxuan, thank you. However, at this moment, Bai's Hailan appeared at the door of the tea house. She stood quietly, staring at Long Shuntian and Shen Ruoxuan's appearances, a trace of complicated emotions flashed in her eyes. Madam Bai, why are you here? Long Shuntian frowned slightly, stepped forward and asked. Bai's Hailan's gaze swept over the two of them, and she smiled slightly, I heard that you are here, and I came to you to discuss something. Seeing this, Shen Ruoxuan stood up and said softly, then I'll retire first. Bai's Hailan looked at Shen Ruoxuan's back, and then turned to Long Shuntian, her eyes with a slight hint of deep meaning, Shuntian, if you really plan to make a choice, then I want to hear your heart. Long Shuntian was stunned for a moment, and couldn't help but feel a trace of anxiety in his heart again. At this moment, Ning Xiao also came to the tea house. Long Shuntian, I want to talk to you. Ning Xiao's tone was as calm as ever, her eyes were a little expectant, but with indescribable firmness. At this moment, the three women were all standing in front of him, their eyes full of different emotions, but Long Shunshan's heart was filled with an unprecedented chaos. Everyone is waiting for the answer he gave, but he himself is like at the crossroads of fate, unable to make a choice. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 8, The Choice of Fate. After a period of careful consideration, Long Shuntian finally realized that this emotional entanglement should not be just his decision. He needed an opportunity that would really help him make a choice. I know that each of you has irreplaceable value. Long Shunshan's tone became calm and firm, but I also understand that I can't blindly think about people other than myself. Everyone has her own unique life and future, and I, in the end, can only choose someone who can really go to the end with me. He took a deep breath and slowly spoke, Bai's Hailan, I respect your independence and strength, Shen Ruoxuan, I love your gentleness and thoughtfulness, Ning Xiao, I appreciate your wisdom and determination, but in the end, my choice is. At this moment, everyone's eyes were focused on Long Shuntian, time seemed to stand still, and he finally made that decision. Chapter 9, The Choice of Fate. Long Shuntian took a deep breath, and his eyes revealed incomparable firmness and indifference. He looked at the three women standing in front of him, Shen Ruoxuan, Bai's Hailan, and Ning Xiao, each of whom was an indispensable part of his life, and he knew that the final choice would determine the direction of his future life. Shen Ruoxuan stood aside, her eyes were slightly anxious, Bai's Hailan was as calm as ever, and Ning Xiao clenched her hands with a hint of uneasiness in her expression. All the emotions were condensed at this moment, as if the air in the entire tea house had become solemn. Long Shuntian slowly spoke, this is a difficult choice, and for me, every single one is so important. I always thought that I could go through this period of life alone, however, when I really faced these feelings, I realized that true happiness is not a choice of one person, but the resonance of two hearts. He paused, his eyes shifted between the three of them, and finally stared at Shen Ruoxuan. Ruoxuan, from childhood to adulthood, you have accompanied me and witnessed my growth. You are like a beacon that illuminates my confused path. I am well aware that you will always have an irreplaceable place in my heart. But I know that if the two of us can support each other, then our future will be filled with countless challenges and difficulties. I don't want to tie you down because of dependence, I want you to be able to live your own life, not just my shadow. A trace of loss flashed in Shen Ruoxuan's eyes, although she had already understood this, but when she heard Long Shuntian say it himself, it was still difficult to suppress the pain in her heart. She nodded lightly with a smile, Shuntian, I understand. No matter what, I will always bless you. With Shen Ruoxuan's departure, Long Shuntian suddenly felt an indescribable relief in his heart, his choice had been decided, however, this did not mean that he no longer cared about Shen Ruoxuan, but that he finally understood that some love needs to be let go, so that each other can grow freely. Then, he turned to Bai's Hailan. Madam Bai, to me, you are a woman full of wisdom and charm. I am deeply admired for your independent and strong attitude, and I feel extremely attracted to everything about you. We've had so many hearts and minds with each other, and I've learned a lot from it and from you. He paused, his eyes softening, but, I know that your future is not just a part of me. I can't give you the peace and security you're looking for, maybe you need more space than me, who is always in a challenge. Bai's Hailan looked at him quietly, a trace of complicated emotions flashed in her eyes, however, a smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. Shuntian, I have always known what you think in your heart, this choice is not surprising to me. It is not by chance that you have been able to grow to such heights, but because you have a greater ideal in mind. I would like to bury this emotion deep in my heart, and wish you and the person you choose to be happy. She turned to leave, with a silent blessing and helplessness, and Long Shunshan's heart suddenly gave birth to an inexplicable sense of emptiness. He understands that it was the right choice he made, but that doesn't mean he won't regret it. In the end, his gaze locked on Ning Xiao. Zhiyao, Long Shuntian stepped forward, his tone soft but firm. Of all the women I know, you are the most special. I am deeply impressed by your wisdom, decisiveness, strength, and charisma. I used to think that I was in complete control of my life, but in front of you, I always felt that I had many flaws that I had not discovered. And you are not only my lover, but also my life partner. Your courage and wisdom make me no longer confused in every choice, and you are the one who can make me dance with the world. A hint of surprise flashed in Ning Xiao's eyes, and then she lowered her head slightly, as if she was trying to suppress the emotional fluctuations in her heart. She was silent for a moment, then raised her head and smiled slightly. Shuntian, I never thought that you would choose me. I know that you have too many excellent and too many people will fall in love with you, and I have never been the one who is easy to be fully accepted by you. But now, I know that your choice is an incomparable happiness for me. I am willing to walk with you into the future. Long Shuntian took a deep breath, and finally gently stretched out his hand and took Ning Xiao's hand. Xiao, let's go on together, no matter what the future holds, we will work hand in hand to meet all challenges. She nodded slightly, with a hint of emotion in her eyes, and her heart was full of warmth and peace of mind. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 10, The Road Ahead. After the choice was made, Long Shuntian and Ning Xiao's lives began to enter a new stage. The two have gone through countless challenges and tribulations hand in hand, and Long Shunshan's career has gradually entered the right track with Ning Xiao's wisdom. Their cooperation has made the relationship between the two stronger. Love and career are intertwined, whether it is friends or colleagues around them, you can see the deep emotions between them. However, this does not mean the end of it all. Long Shuntian knows that the path he has chosen is not only emotional dependence, but also future struggle and hard work. He and Ning Xiao are still facing countless challenges, and every choice in their careers, lives, and even the future will need to be borne by the two of them. Despite this, Long Shunshan's heart had a peace that he had never felt before. He understands that this love is not determined by a random choice, but two hearts slowly come together in the long river of time. The future of him and Ning Xiao will not only be an emotional connection between the two people, but also a source of strength for them to face the world and conquer difficulties together. And on this long road, no matter what kind of challenges they faced, Long Shuntian no longer felt alone. He knew that no matter what the future holds, his love with Ning Xiao will be like a beacon that will never be extinguished, guiding him to a brighter future.